Yeah. What the hell?
Greetings, friends, and welcome back to the 3-Minute Horror Show. My name is Ben, your host, and I love horror movies. In fact, I watch the bad movies so that you don't have to. You're welcome. Today I'll be reviewing the movie Nanoshark from 2024. This is a movie about a teeny tiny little shark and a teeny tiny little submarine that accidentally get injected into a man's butt. This movie was co-written and directed by Brett Kelly. Yes, that Brett Kelly. Ouija Shark and Raiders of the Lost Shark Brett Kelly. We have history with him on this channel. Nanoshark is not currently streaming here in Canada. You will have to find yourself a copy. The Prime Minister of Canada's son Jimmy suddenly develops an illness that no one has ever seen before.
Your son has a very rare blood disease.
How rare?
He's the first to ever get it. It's called Little Jimmy the Prime Minister's Son's Disease.
They name this illness Jimmy the Prime Minister's Son's Disease, and the doctor that consults with the Prime Minister decides that the best course of action would be to shrink down a killer shark and introduce it into Jimmy's bloodstream. The shark would then attack the virus cells, making the kid better.
Do you like submarines?
Sandwiches?
No, sir. The boats.
And at the same time, they would introduce a shrunken submarine with a crew of soldiers to corral the shark after the disease is eradicated. Then Jimmy will simply pee the sub and shark out before they return to their original size.
Well, I did say that I would try anything. Doctor, go ahead with the procedure.
This is the third Brett Kelly movie that we've covered on this channel, so let's take a quick look at the man himself. In addition to directing such films as Ouija Shark, Raiders of the Lost Shark, Kaiju Glam Metal Shark Attack, and Jurassic Shark, Brett Kelly is also the frontman of a hair metal band named Gelatin Skeleton. He's responsible for directing nearly 50 films in the Ottawa, Canada region in Ontario of Canada. He predominantly sources his casts from his friends and family in the area. This is another really good example of modern regional horror. He's a very interesting character, and you can buy a shout-out from him on Cameo.
Wow.
The scientists in charge of the shark shrinking have an accident. One falls into the shark tank, and his partner is unable to pull him out due to his fingers being covered in chicken wing sauce. Oh well, their other co-worker returns, and they go ahead and shrink the shark anyway. The shark and the sub are sucked into a syringe along with some fluid, and it's left on the table. Keith the janitor comes in to clean up and accidentally backs his rump up into the syringe. An unfortunate butt-slapping incident causes the plunger to be pressed down, and Keith now has a nanoshark and a submarine in his bloodstream. Keith leaves the lab and goes about his day. He buys lemonade from a particularly precocious young man.
This is not a friendly neighborhood, sir. They won't even support a local kid selling lemonade.
He has some fun goofing around in the mirror. He gets a bloody nose and sneezes one of the soldiers out onto the bathroom mirror. This soldier was outside of the sub making repairs. He even eats hot dogs with some hipsters.
You like another one, my dude?
Haiku Time. Keith the janitor gets stuck with needle in lab. Shark is now in butt. This was Haiku Time, thank you very much. While this is happening, the soldiers inside him try to survive their close encounters with the shark. The two remaining soldiers attempt to pacify the shark with an EMP, despite the fact that neither of them knows what an EMP is, and all that it does is give Keith the toots.
Well, that didn't sound too good.
Will the shrunken soldiers manage to get the shark back to the extraction point within Keith before they grow back to their original size? Will Keith successfully pee them out? Will anyone save the Prime Minister's son Jimmy? This was surprisingly good. Based on my track record with Brett Kelly's films, I was expecting it to be a lot worse, to be perfectly honest. Yes, the effects were mainly the crappy standard CGI shark assets that we normally see. They also used a toy shark and a toy submarine at one point though, but the script was very funny. I found myself chuckling several times. For the most part, the performances from the leads and from the wacky side characters were really good too. And from what I understand, the guy that played Keith the janitor, the guy who got the shark up his butt, also wrote most of the dialogue. I really enjoyed this one. I rate Nanoshark a 6 out of 10.
Cool beans.
As always, a link to my Letterboxd appears in the video's description. Please leave me a like, comment, and subscribe, as it really does boost my engagement and helps my channel grow. Smell you later, nerds!
It was just a bathroom thing.